Um, Slade, I just heard him walk in the house. He said he had to shave his face before he came out here, so he'll be out here soon. It's kind of weird. Like I'm looking over there, he's not there. It's kind of weird, but it is what it is. We got Hunt, Bailey, Mr. Jim, and Slade. I wonder where. Let me just see where April and Kristen are. Hold, please. She might be at a game. April. Bailey, you text. Anyway, so tonight we're talking about Christian dating. And, you know, I feel like this comes up a lot. And it might be because I have a daughter. Hey, April. Might be because I have a daughter in the house that, isn't married yet. Hey, Cheyenne. And so, and most of us on here, well, I guess all of us on here except Bailey right this second, have kids. And, she is still, single. So this applies to, our single children. And, if we're single ourselves. I can't talk tonight, apparently. Um, I think my allergies have been acting up all day. My eyes are kind of swollen. My throat's kind of scratchy. It's ridiculous. But whatever. So, whenever Slade and I started dating, we were not saved. Not even close to being saved. And so what we thought, oh yeah, don't forget to like and share the stream, guys. Thanks, April. What we, you know, did for dating was not the right thing. You know, thankfully it worked out. But I mean, that's not always the case whenever you start dating someone and you're not saved, for sure. Like, I just feel like, that makes it even harder. But we were equally not saved. Like, it wasn't that one of us was going after God and the other one was not. So that obviously made it, you know, I guess easier because we weren't pulling each other like in the wrong direction. I mean, we were both going in the wrong direction together. Um, so I guess, one of the questions I have on here is as a Christian, how do you approach dating while avoiding casual culture and maintaining boundaries? So these days, I feel like dating it's just so casual. Like, it's just whatever. Like, they don't date with a purpose. There's no intentions there. Like, they're not intentional when they're dating. And you can't date like the world and follow Christ. The world says, oh, move in together. You can have sex. You can, do all of these things. But nowhere in the Bible does it talk about dating. Um, it just doesn't. And I'll be honest, my views on this, the more I get in my word, the more I get so solid on it. You know, you don't know what you don't know. And so when I first come to Christ, I had no idea, what the guidelines for dating when you were a Christian were. I mean, the only dating I knew was worldly dating. And so that's all I'd ever done. And that's the only advice I could give someone. And to be honest, my views didn't change until like I really started studying it, the past couple years. Um, just trying to figure out like how I could help, young people in that situation. Because the way I thought about it even 3 years ago is not the same way I think about it today. So, um, and a lot of that is trial and error with raising kids. And unfortunately, they had, Bailey got the crap version of me. Gavin gets the better version of me. But oh, Slade's here. Hello. But I just so I would give advice, but it wasn't biblical really advice because I didn't realize that in the Bible no one dated. Well, now I see that.
I heard you were struggling to talk, so I just did a little quick shave. I didn't break out the razor or nothing.
She said we all have kids except Bailey. She's singling you out. Yeah. So you can't date like the world. But what does it look like? If you're in Christ, dating isn't entertainment. It's preparation for marriage. Like, you're not dating just to have fun. You need to find some friends. That's not the place for that. Like, it's not.
Yeah, dating has, worldly dating has turned into practice for divorce.
I have that on here.
Yeah, that's
one of my points.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine. He has no idea what my points are. But yeah, it's true. It is. It is.
You get it. I don't know where you're
that
going.
that was my next thing. So
yeah, so you get this attachment to someone, and for whatever reason it doesn't work out. Well, there's nothing keeping you there, so you break up and go your separate ways. Well, that's what we turn marriage into because we're so good at it.
Yeah,
and we can form a connection with someone and then break it and move on like nothing ever happened. And we do the same thing in marriage. And that's why dating is dangerous. Wow, that was a really old man thing to say.
It's true. If someone doesn't pull you closer to Jesus, then they're pulling you away from him. So that would be, you have to go into everything with boundaries, especially once you're saved. Everything has to have boundaries. You cannot just go into it going, well, I don't plan on doing any of these things, but we'll see where this takes me. Like, that's the devil will take you farther than you want to go, keep you longer than you want to stay,
cost you more
than you want to pay.
Yes. Sin does that.
Yeah. Sin through the devil.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's what ends up happening if you don't have strict boundaries in dating. Dating is like chasing feelings. Yes, I agree. So, and drop any questions that you guys have, whether it be for yourself or kids, whatever. I'm going to hit these points and then we'll obviously talk about it a little more. But I have, what's a healthy timeline for dating that leads to marriage? This is probably one of the top questions I get asked from young people. Well, how long do you, how long do you call them your girlfriend or boyfriend before you put a ring on it? Well, I wrote down, if you aren't ready for marriage, you're not ready to date, first of all. Because if you're dating with intention, then you're dating to marry. And if you're not, then what is the point? What's your goal there? I put get to know each other, but keep it public and move towards marriage in months, not years. Be intentional. So get to know each other, keep it public. What do I mean by that? The world has made it to where you have to like go to the movies by yourself, and you have to Netflix and chill by yourself, and you have to go to dinner alone.
Be kind of weird to Netflix and chill with other people.
Yeah, what they consider Netflix and chilling.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about.
And
don't want to do that publicly.
If you're not married, you shouldn't be doing that at all.
I know.
So what do I mean though? By public, I mean there should always be someone holding you accountable. It should never just be you and that person. So, um, as I said earlier, I have learned in my parenting style in mistakes I've made, and we had to move forward and all the things. But I used to not care if Bailey went on a date. And then I she and I talked about it, and we talked about, the boundaries. Yeah, he's wild. Um, but we talked about boundaries, and Bailey was like, she and I talked, and she's like, I don't think, you know, being, because I used to have the rule, don't be by yourself ever. But I would let her like go to dinner and things like that. And then it's like, you know, no, if you're not supposed to be by yourself, then, hey, Mama Sharon, then that's exactly what it should be. Like, because if you want to go to dinner, you meet them there. Like, don't ride in the cart. There's just room for,
Bad decisions.
yeah. And so, and you're like, she's grown now. So people she dates, they live on their own and all of those things. And I can't be the one to say, don't go over there, because she's grown. Like, I can tell her that, but she can listen or not. Like, that's her choice. And so, she has some pretty strict boundaries for herself. She actually wrote them down. Was it about a year ago? 6 months
When
ago?
she joined the nunnery?
Yeah. She joined the
That was
nunnery
about
about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, she says she joined the nunnery 6 months ago. But yeah, she has this list of things that she wrote down, because I think it's important. Like, you've got to have things that you will not budge on. And that's just where it's at. So, if you want to go eat, meet them there. If you want to go to the movies, invite godly friends with you to the movies. Just don't put yourself in a situation to where temptation could take over. And, some people struggle more with that than others.
Yeah.
Netflix and chill over here. I mean, this guy's over here talking about Netflix and chilling.
You
So
brought up Netflix and chill. Oh my gosh.
Oh
my gosh.
You expounded upon it.
This 100% turned on me.
Cheyenne thinks it's you too.
Unbelievable. This is wild behavior.
No, I don't think so. So get to know each other. And I will say, Netflix and chill over here, that's what I'm going to start calling you. Joking aside, he's always said that within 6 months if that person is for you. Christ, job, car, house. This would be a good list. You don't go to the candy store if you're on a diet. Exactly. So what was I saying?
I don't know.
You should move towards.
I'm trying to pull myself out from up under the bus right
I'm
this
trying
second.
to tell you what to say right now, and you're just not listening. Move towards marriage in
6 months.
Yeah, he says in 6 months.
Why wouldn't you know?
Yeah.
You would absolutely know. Like you. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
If it takes you more than 6 months to say, I don't know if I could marry her or not, then you can't.
You can't.
Then you can't. You can't marry her. It's not an option.
I mean, I knew soon. It was less than 6 months. I mean, within 6 months. Okay. Y'all all know, most of y'all know our story. We were 17 when we started dating. We split up for a while, got back together the month I turned 19. So since 19 though, we have literally we started dating. This is terrible. We started dating in February. We got back together in February. We were moved in together by May. By October, we were engaged, and the following May, we were married.
Look, Daddy said he knew.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. They only dated 6 weeks, didn't they?
Something like that.
And they've been together.
40 years.
Yeah. More
Something
than
like
that.
Longer
40
than that.
something years.
40 some odd years.
Yeah. Probably close to 50 years.
How old's my sister?
About to be
She'll be
50.
50 this
Yeah.
year. 45 years or so.
Yeah.
46, 47 years.
They've been together a long time.
I don't want to get anybody in trouble, so y'all don't have to comment.
Your
or
mom
Dad.
probably knows.
I don't know.
They can do the math real quick.
Dated and married within 4 months.
You know, I mean, you do, you know. And to be honest, I would have married him in December, but he proposed in October, and they didn't have 47 years. Wow. And they didn't have we didn't have time to plan a wedding in 2 months. My parents were like, no, that's not going to work. So then we were like, okay, I said we'd do March, but all they had open was May, so that's what we went with.
Long time.
Yeah. So if there are already things about that person that you're like, I would not want to do this for the rest of my life, why are you with them? Like, you hear all these stories of these people are dating, and they're like horror stories, literally. And it's like, what are you doing? Like,
you hear their horror stories, and then you see they're getting married, and you're like,
why?
What are you doing? Why would you do that?
Yeah. Like, it's a terrible idea. Marriage is not going to make anything better.
No.
Now, it might give you some security that you didn't have before, which is why worldly dating is not a good option. Because when you worldly date, you're looking for this security that you're not getting in Christ, and you're not getting in that person because they're not Christ-led. So that is, be intentional with your dating. Within months, you should be moving in the direction of marriage. How do you know if someone is God's will for you? Well, ask. You got to pray about it. You just had to have me. God, that's what you say about me.
You were chasing me down.
Yeah. It wasn't both ways. And these are questions you should ask. Does this relationship lead you to sin or Christ? If it's not leading you, does it work?
No.
Oh.
Potential spam.
Oh, okay. If it's not leading you towards Christ, then you need to cut it off immediately.
Yeah. If the relationship, if the other person is trying to lead you into sin, then they're not from God.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
You never have to sin to be in God's will. I read earlier that, let me get my numbers straight here, 57% of Christians, dating Christians, believe it is okay to have sex outside of marriage. 57%.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. That's wild.
Yeah, that's nuts.
So even if they say they're a Christian, and even if they're going to church every Sunday, and even if they're at church on Wednesday and at all the Bible study, if they're checking all the marks, but they're still trying to get you to sin, they are not from God. And move on. Just that simple. It don't matter how good looking they are.
I agree. And then, is there constant drama or chaos, or is there peace in the situation and growth? If it's drama and chaos, that is not from God. It's just not. You know, even though he and I weren't saved when we started dating, I will say that's something he and I never had. Drama and chaos. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we've always just been us. I mean,
Yeah.
do you feel confused? Does that person drain you? You know, I read something earlier and they were talking about when you look at that person, do they bring you joy or anguish? I was like, well,
Depends on what time it is.
this guy. But if they are making your life harder more days than they are trying to help you, they're probably not for you. Like, that's not peaceful. That's not any way you want to live. And we all have things that we struggle with that unfortunately the other person in our life has to deal with. Um and you know, that's where we have to learn to let go and let God, because as long as we're holding the reins on a relationship or whatever it might be in the relationship, he's not going to bless a situation. He's not going to bless a situation and give you what you desire until you desire him more than the situation to change. I think that was for us. And sometimes that's how God works. Well, hope y'all got something from that as well. So even in a relationship, we'll hold on to things that we feel like we need to control. Like, I mean, small things, even like, oh, I can't do this in front of them. They might not like me or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
you know, if I respond like this, you know, it might run them off. Is the person for you? It's not going to run them off. Like, don't pretend to be something you're not, as long as you're following the will of God.
Yeah, if it runs them off, then they weren't the person for you.
Yeah.
So, dodge the bullet.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I haven't ran him off yet, so he probably wishes I would sometimes.
Only because I'm not easily scared.
That's good.
Unless it's a haunted house.
Are you consistently praying together and, most importantly, serving God together in some capacity? So Slade and I, we pray for each other, but we're not great at praying together. And I think that some of we don't have issues, but I think some of the things in our life where God's trying to work, that's one of our drawbacks. Because he's like, y'all are trying to do this separate. Like, he and I are so, what is the word? Just independent.
Yeah. Independent, self-willed.
Yes. And that is, I mean, I'll say that's my number one issue in my walk with Christ. I know that's what holds me back, because I'm like, yeah, but he doesn't need my buts. Yeah, but trust me. Yeah, but follow me. Stop having an excuse for every single thing he can do in my life. And, you know, I think back time and time again, and when I trusted him blindly the most was right after I come to Christ, and things were so much easier. Then you get all this knowledge, and you have to humble yourself again sometimes.
For sure.
And I'm kind of in that season right now, like unfortunately, I'm a control freak in a lot of ways, and he is too. So, we both, we have to figure that out relationship wise. So that was totally off subject.
Not really.
Yeah, I don't guess so. But yeah, just you've got to depend on God for every single part of your relationship.
I mean, you can apply it to your dating. I mean, we're not having relationship troubles,
No.
but you can apply that to your dating in that you think that's the one. You think, like you were saying, you want to hold on to what you think you can control, but that's the very place that you need to let go.
Yeah.
And
I'm a firm believer in, and I've just seen it one too many times. Every time God puts his finger on a spot in my life, when I finally just totally let go of the reins, and I'm like, all right, God, it's your will. Whatever it looks like, you do it. He shows up bigger than I ever could have thought. And it's like we talk about the story about tithing. When we started tithing, we had $0. I don't know how we were tithing out of the $0 we had, but we did, okay? And he made that money go farther than anything I could have ever done. Like, I look back and I'm like, I don't even know how we paid our bills. But he did.
yeah,
Because we were trusting him. Like, we were so, like, because we were newly saved. And we were so far just out there, really. I mean, we were just like, God, have your way in our life.
yeah, and
with no control.
Obviously, I mean, he can do more with 90% than I can do with 100%, and then you can apply that to every aspect of your life, not just money.
Yes,
you can apply that to everything. Whatever you think you got figured out, let him.
Yeah.
Let him have 50% of it, and he'll blow your mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I'm not saying that in situations you won't have to do your part, because we do have to meet him. You have to be like, okay, God, I'm actually giving it to you. Because what we tend to do what I tend to do in every situation, I don't know about you guys, is I'll be like, all right, God, I'm giving it to you. And then there's still this one little thing over here that I'm like, but let me just hold on to this, because I don't know. I just don't, just let me hold on to it.
Well, we'll give it to him with a string attached to it so that we can
pull it back.
And we can have it back whenever we feel like it's not going just like we wanted it to.
Yeah. And, you guys know we own 2 businesses, and so it's a lot of stress between the two of us. And whenever you're running a business and you've got these numbers that you have to meet to pay those bills, well, you've got all these personal bills. They don't get paid first. Like, you've trying to figure out how to pay this stuff so then you can pay your personal stuff. It's a lot. There's a lot that goes into owning a business. It's just a lot. And
that's definitely something you need to look at when you're looking at a spouse or looking at dating someone.
Can they handle it?
Can they handle it? What is, that's crazy to think, but you need to know what somebody's financial situation is before you go off marrying them.
Yeah, I agree.
like for real.
I agree.
Because yeah.
Yes. We were children, so we just had to figure this out on our own. We just so you're making it, guys. God's God. That's the only way. Um, but you know, he obviously, he's a man, he can shoulder more than I can. But I don't verbalize a lot of times whenever I'm um struggling or stressed or anything. Um I'll pretend like I'm okay and I'm like, we just, we're just gonna, because I don't want to stress him out more. But also, what's the point? I'm gonna get stressed out and he's gonna be stressed out. Now we're both stressed out. Now our kids are getting that and that's unfair to them. They didn't ask for that. There's just a whole like thing. So the person that you decide to spend the rest of your life with, they need to be someone who, they leave their stress almost at the door. There's one thing I can say about the mother that raised me. My dad's wife. I never knew if she was struggling ever until I was old enough to understand it. Y'all all know my dad went to prison when I was 12 years old. I never saw the woman shed a tear. She held it together. I mean, there was 4 of us kids living in the house with her, and she handled it like a champ. She worked every night at the restaurant. We had a nanny that stayed with us at night. She still took us to school and picked us up every day. Like, it was a whole thing. Like, our life changed some because we were used to her being there and dad being gone, but she had to go to work. But, like, as far as, like, making sure, like, my parents, like, every account they had was frozen for 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, my dad had to borrow a car to drive from someone else because they took our cars. Like, they took his jewelry. They literally took everything. Like, my whole life was just like, it imploded, really. At 9, 10 years old. And I watched my parents handle it well, if I'm being honest. And I don't know how they did that because they were not saved. They did. They handled it well. So I always go back to that anytime I'm faced with a stressful situation. I'm like, it could be worse.
Could be worse.
They could have come and got everything, and everything I have be frozen, and I have 4 kids sitting at the house.
Yeah.
Not knowing how I'm going to feed them.
Word.
I mean, he didn't have a credit card. I mean, he didn't have anything he could use. It was just, but God in that moment. And now, it changed my dad for the better, if I'm being honest. That situation. So, everything happens for a reason. But I said all that to say, God knew my parents needed each other because he already knew the choices that were going to be made, and he already knew what dad was going to have to need and what mom was going to have to need in a spouse. And they're both strong. And, I told my counselor today, I was like, she was asking me how I was, and I was like, well, they put me on some extra anxiety meds. She was like, are you more stressed than normal? I was like, I don't know. She was like, well, she was like, the issue is, she was like, you've been stressed your whole life. She was like, you came out of the womb in a stressful situation. She was like, you don't know how to live without the stress. She was like, so even if it's like, she said some other person like literally could not handle one more thing in their brain. She was like, you're just like, okay. And I was like, Yeah, I guess so. That's kind of how I feel. I was like, I know I'm stressed. I was like, because my body can feel it. I was like, but like my brain is like, girl, you got this. Just keep rocking and rolling. So yeah, but I'm gonna let God handle it, not me. Um, so just make sure that you look for good qualities in a partner. It, I could not have a partner that was weak because I would run over them. They have to have a voice, or I would run over him. Um, and I could not have someone who was whiny. Like those two things would never work for me.
A weak whiner.
I just couldn't do it.
Terrible.
Yeah. Like I have kids that would be stronger than him. Like why would I do that? That's crazy. What were things that you would say in me that you're like, yeah, I could not have those
Well, it's
things?
kind of the same thing. Pretty much. I mean, really. Yeah.
We don't like weak whiners, guys.
I don't like weak, whiny people. If they were weak, I'd run over them.
Yeah.
And if they're whiners,
I get rid of them.
I'd get rid of them. I was kidding.
Just couldn't deal with it.
I couldn't deal with that.
No. And neither of our kids are whiners.
Mm-mm.
Like when they were kids, we would be like, there is one thing we will not put up with, and that's whining. Like,
Wouldn't let
you want a
'em-
spanking? We can spank you and you can cry, but we're not going to whine.
My only no on watching TV was Caillou, because Caillou whined the entire show. And I was like, Caillou is not allowed in this house.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
he did was whine. That's it. I had no nose on watching TV except
But
for
I had a
Caillou.
laundry list.
She had a long list, but I had no nose. But that one, no.
Listen, I had a long list before I got saved. When I got saved, boy, they were limited.
Yeah, the list grew.
It's an ongoing joke between my kids about all the things they weren't allowed to watch.
I'd turn something on, they'd be like, "We can't watch that." I'd be like, "Why not?" Crap's wrong with this?
I'm not going to say that I got saved before him because I didn't. We got saved at the same time, but my convictions were different than his were in the beginning. Now they're much more similar, but in the beginning, my convictions, they were so strong. Like they still are strong, but I'm just saying, like out the gate, they were just like strong. And I was immediately like, but not everyone's story is like that. Like some people have to work through things. I don't have as, I think that comes with letting things go. I don't have an addictive personality in the sense of I can't just stop doing something most of the time. The only thing I've ever struggled with is shopping, like spending money. And that is something I've struggled with. And, you know, I come to the realization that I did that whenever I was struggling in my life. I was trying to buy myself happiness. And so it's something that I've really had to try to reel in and work on because there's no amount of stuff that is worth like stress. And so I've had to learn how, okay, yes, do you have to have clothes to wear? Yeah. But you can get 5, 6 sweaters, 7 pair of blue jeans, like things like this. And then you can wear those because what you're going to do is whenever next winter rolls around, the only things you're going to want to wear out of there is going to be the blue jeans and the sweaters. And then the other little stuff like undershirts and stuff that are long sleeve, I keep those for several years, but I've learned that like I don't have to have the $70 one. Like I order them on Amazon now. They're $12.99. Like there are things that I'm like, it's just not necessary. Like I'll spend more on a sweater. I've had this sweater for 5 years. I'm still rocking it. It's a great sweater. I have it in purple too. But I'm saying that because that is something I struggled with. But as far as like other things, like addiction wise, like I've never, like I smoke cigarettes and I just put them down. Like, it's not something, whatever. I mean, like, it wasn't, that's not a thing for me.
That sweater like matches the couch, so it looks like your head's floating.
But so I think that the reason why when I first got saved, I gave so just everything to him. First of all, the first time in my life, I felt free. Like, I don't know how to explain that. And what? I don't even know if the sweater I have on is mine. I think it might be Dad's. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. It might be your brother's. Anyway, so I'm gonna get this point out in a minute. I let it all. I didn't struggle with the like just letting everything go because I've never had an issue with wanting to really. I've always longed to not have to control things. I just had to control things because that was the only safe way in my life. Like, I long to not have to. Like, Slade has to control things. Like, it's his personality, and it's not a bad thing. You couldn't have two people like me who longs to just be like, I don't want to control it. I don't. There are things I like to control, and that's like things that like make the house run well. But I've even learned to let a lot of that go. Like, you keep moving that foot. It's about to drive me crazy. Because I've learned that all of those things just, I mean, my papa used to tell me there's only two things in life you're going to do: pay taxes and die. Okay? He told me that from the time I was like 4 years old. And so I think about that regularly the older I get. There's two things in life I'm going to have to do: pay taxes and die.
Yeah.
Everything else, it's going to fall where it falls. It's like playing Russian roulette over here. So, what boundaries should Christians have when dating? No physical intimacy. Meaning,
no Netflix and chill.
Yes. I have no lingering hugs. No cuddling. No kissing. No sex. So,
so funny.
What I thought. I mean, like, you and I have had this conversation before that had we been saved, y'all, this is about to get off the rails. Had we been saved when we met, like, we wouldn't have been able to even wait a year to get married because we would have immediately had to get married because physically it wouldn't have worked. Like, we've had this discussion 1,000 times. Like, we would have failed.
Right.
Miserably.
Right.
Like, we wouldn't have been able to wait a whole year to get married.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's crazy anyway.
Yeah. Like, we did it because we were having a wedding. But what I tell people all the time, if you want a wedding, fine. Go get married and then have a ceremony.
Yeah.
And invite your friends and let them be a part of it. You just need the preacher, the paper, and the Lord to get married. That's it.
That's it.
And then you can go have a ceremony 6 months down the road if that's what you want to do. But don't let sin take over there, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, I had a rule when Bailey would have her boyfriend at the house. they couldn't share a blanket. Look, you can call me crazy if you want to, but I'm also not an idiot. So there's that. Don't put yourself in situations to screw up, and it won't happen. Keep accountability. Date in community, not in isolation. And I touched on that earlier. You know, just making sure that you're around people and all of the things. Guard emotional intimacy. Emotional.
No, you
No.
got that. You got it.
There are things that you should not be sharing with someone that you're not married to. There's some things that only belong in a marriage. And it's not just physical intimacy. It's emotional intimacy as well. You cannot trust someone completely with your heart until you're married to them. You just can't. I feel like that sets people up for failure. And I can look back and on us dating and say there were things I should have kept hidden, like not secret, but like just things I shouldn't have shared with you until we were married, just simply because when you're married to someone, you cherish them differently. And I don't think that's the case for everyone, but anyone that believes in marriage and how sacred it is, they should. They should cherish their spouse differently than they would their significant other when they were, you know, before them or whatever. Like I've shared things with you since being married to you that I never shared with anyone in my life.
Yeah.
Because you were safe.
Yeah.
So, you know, you just need to make sure that you're not sharing things that could hurt you if it didn't work
Used
out.
against you.
Yeah. Prioritize spiritual growth and serving together above romance. And, you know, people in this day and age, they think that relationships are supposed to be like a fairy tale or something. Newsflash, it's not. Are there? That sounded terrible. I didn't mean it negatively.
No. You said what you meant. You meant what you said.
But it's not a fairy tale. I mean, every day of your life, you're not going to wake up and wait on Prince Charming to...
Unless your name's Tabitha.
Right. Now, I will say...
The rest of you, good luck.
I will say something that I absolutely cannot... I cannot stand to hear people say that's been married a very long time. And he knows probably what I'm about to say. Whenever they say, well, it's just the way it is because we've been married so long. That don't work for me. No. If it's something that is not becoming of you or the marriage, no, it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to stay that way. I hate the saying, you can't teach old dogs new tricks. Yes, you can. Yeah, you can. You put them through enough training, you can teach them. And so that is a absolute pet peeve of mine because I feel like people use that as an excuse to not have to do anything about the marriage they're in.
Yeah.
It's like a cop out.
Yeah, it's an excuse not to change.
Yeah. And it's like we all have capabilities of changing. I'm happier with the person he is today than the person he was almost 22 years ago. Golly. The person he is now is a much better partner. He's a much better spouse. He's a better provider. He's a better husband. I said that. A better dad. A better dad. He's a different person than he was then. He's a different person than he was 5 years ago. And that's how it should be. Like, you guys should be growing into better versions of yourselves together. And if you're not, then you need to look in the mirror, both of you, and go, what can I do to change this?
Yeah.
I know if you're.
Well, same. I mean, she's better all the way around. Like, I mean, because she's willing to change. She's willing to grow. She's willing to evolve. She's willing to take criticism and criticize herself and just grow.
That's something I used to not be good at all, was taking criticism. You agree with that? Like, if you told me, it's not that I didn't like try to fix myself, but at first I got really angry. Where now I don't really get angry. I'll just be like, yeah.
Cannot quit yawning.
I just like, yeah, you're right. I sucked it up in that department. I'm sorry. And you know, we're both learning. Like, it doesn't matter how long you've been married, you'll never have it all figured out, because that person is changing. And as you get older, things change. And as your kids get older, things change. Like, you know, I've said this on here before, and I'll say it time and time again. Your spouse is so important, because one day your kids will grow up and they'll leave home. It might be 40 years for me. I might be dead before mine leave home. But that's the goal, is for your kids to grow up and leave home. And at that point, you're stuck with each other.
Don't be stuck
Right.
with each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, you said, yeah, good luck with that, Bailey. But you're with each other. Like, I enjoy my time with him by ourselves. Like, you know, he and I went on a cruise for 400 years, it felt like.
7 days.
It was 7 nights.
7 nights.
Yeah, but we were gone for 9 days.
9.
Yeah. And it was just he and I. And we didn't have one argument. And I had people be like, you were stuck in a cruise cabin with him all that time and y'all didn't argue? No.
What the crap you got to argue about?
You got people serving you.
Nothing to argue about in a room on a boat.
Although everybody around us was arguing, were they not?
They were.
Every time we go on a cruise.
You know what? They probably had kids with them.
Every time we go on a cruise, though, no, not those people on that one. Remember, that was the old folks cruise. Remember, he was talking about he was going to go get his $1 million out of the bank, and she wasn't going to get anything. It was a whole thing, guys. They were older. And I just remember thinking, it's not that serious. Like, I don't know what happened. But y'all need to wait till you get off the boat.
Throw her over.
Right? But like every time I go on a cruise, someone gets in an argument. The only one that didn't happen was Disney.
That's the happiest place on earth.
Right. Well, celebrity, no one got in an argument either. That's a whole different ball game though. Maybe it's the tier of the boat.
Mm-hmm.
The last cruise Bailey and I went on, this nephew and his aunt tied up for it. They had the door open, screaming at each other, like to the top of their lungs. And me and Bailey walked by and we were like, so we obviously look in there. I mean, because who wouldn't? And she's in one of those motorized things. She is backing out real fast. She was so mad. She was so mad at him. They were yelling the F word, and we were like, we were only on a 3-day cruise. Like, we had not been on there. Like, you basically got on there and got off. Like, why are y'all fighting? This is crazy. They were fighting about the casino and the money, and I don't know. It was wild. I'll tell you the issue. People get drunk on those things, and then they act like idiots.
They act like drunks.
Yes.
That's unbelievable.
That, I think, is why you don't have that with celebrity and Disney, because people aren't on there just getting trashed.
Hammered.
Like, you might see somebody with a glass of wine on celebrity. But, like, there's not people walking around with drinks the whole time. Like, if you see someone with a drink, they're usually, like, sitting at dinner, or they went and had a glass of wine at a, like, thing where they're, like, playing live music or something. Like, it's not, like, shooting shots at the bar and crazy stuff. I saw that Carnival was putting a limit there on their drinks, and they need to. They all should.
Never been on a Carnival cruise, I don't think.
Been on 2. No, you haven't. Well, you went on Princess, which is owned by Carnival, but it's the old people version.
Yeah, I went on the old folks version of
yes
Carnival.
And it was not that nice. 10 out of 10, don't recommend Princess Cruise Lines. No offense. I mean, the food was not good. Disney's food's good. Royal's food was.
Cruising overall, 1 potato.
That's his opinion. For someone who doesn't ever plan a trip, or have to plan all of the things that goes along with it, or where you're going to eat and all of those things, yeah, I bet a cruise might be 1 potato. But for someone like me, who does have to plan everything, a cruise you don't have to plan. You just show up. Everything else is taken care of. You just walk to whatever you want to go watch. You don't, like, fabulous. For moms, it is the best way to vacation, because I do not have to worry once I step on that boat. When it pulls out, I'm there. They're going to feed me. They're going to clean my room. They're going to come get my dirty towels, and then they're going to turn them into swans. I mean, like, it's great.
Sometimes little elephants.
Yeah, they'll leave you chocolate on your pillow at night. I mean, who doesn't want these things? You want room service? Just call them. They'll deliver it. You want breakfast in the morning? Hang it on the door. Like, it's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right.
Wonderful. But yeah, like, I think that's why I love it so much, though. I don't have to plan it. They do all the work for me. I just show up. I pay for it and go. And I like the fact that you pay and then you're done.
Yeah, you got to keep paying.
Yeah. Like,
pay for this and pay for that and pay for this and pay for that.
It's crazy. Like,
you get on the boat, you don't even have to take any money.
No.
You're done.
Like, if you want to get something, like, in the store or something, they'll charge it to your room. Like, you just use your little cruise card and they'll charge it. And you can even put cash on it, where you have, like, a limit or whatever, if you didn't have a credit card or a debit card or whatever you wanted to hook to it. But yeah, I think, that's one of the positives about cruising. And so when you're going to date someone and you're a Christian, make sure that you ask, like, questions. Make sure they're active in church. They can say they go to church all day long, but it does not mean that they're active in church.
That's the only thing I had for tonight. Do not be unequally yoked.
Yes, I had that on here.
Do not be unequally yoked, because I heard her mention it earlier that we were both not saved. Well, it could have went one or two ways. It could have worked, which thankfully it did.
Oh, I said earlier, I was like, odds are probably shouldn't have.
But
we're just both so hard headed.
The percentages were not in our favor.
No.
But if you're saved, you don't need to go out searching for an unsaved person
to save them.
You're not going to save them. Odds are they're dragging you down.
Mm-hmm.
I've said this, a million times. She married potential, but she wasn't saved when she married that potential. I married hope, and she married potential.
Yeah.
Don't go out marrying somebody that's not the same religion as you.
Right.
You're not going to convert them.
No.
Not going to happen.
No. And don't think, oh, well, just give it a little time. They'll change their mind.
Don't give it
that.
a little time.
Out the gate, y'all need to be equally yoked.
Yep.
Now, do I believe that there are times where God sends someone into someone's life to, mentor is not the word, help mold them into the person they're supposed to be? Yes. But at that point, you shouldn't be dating them. You guys should just be friends. Complete friends, like totally platonic. No feelings involved. If God sent that person in your life and you are to be the light in their life, God will, if you continue praying and you stay prayed up, God will also protect you in a sense where your emotions and stuff like that do not get intertwined until it's time, if that's the person for you.
Yep.
And one more thing, equally yoked, that does not mean y'all have to go to church the same amount of time. Because there are people that's been in church 20 years, but they weren't following Christ for 20 years.
No.
There's people that's been in church a year and they're on fire for Jesus. There's people who've been in church a month and they're on fire for Jesus. I would say they need to at least be in church 6 months, but that's just because you need to make sure they're going to stick with it. Like, it's not just a phase. What do you think?
Yeah, you don't need, just like anything else, people come and go.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to see their lifestyle is Christ-like.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all need to have some of the same goals.
Again, and like she said, if they've been in church 20 years, that's fine and dandy. But like I said earlier, if they've been in church 20 years and they're leading you to sin,
yeah,
you're not equally yoked.
And if they've been in church 20 years and they don't know anything about the Bible, probably your answer.
It's a red flag.
Yeah. And if this is what I think, I'll say, if I was going to go and look for someone to date, I would be looking for someone who is serving in their church, not going and sitting in the pew. When I say serving in their church, they need to be doing something, working for the kingdom of God for nothing in return. That is something I would look for in a spouse. Because if he can serve the church and serve God well, he'll serve you well. And if he doesn't serve others well, he will not serve you well. and we are called to be servants.
Amen.
And so that is probably the number one thing I would look for if I ever had to get remarried again, if something happened between Slade and I. And I don't mean divorce. He would have to
I'm not trying to put me down.
no, I'm not gonna put you down. But I'm saying if the Lord took you and I decided to get remarried, that would be my number one.
Now, you told me I couldn't do that.
You can't. You can't do that. No, I would want you to be happy. I mean, you probably wouldn't be happy because I wasn't here.
If Gavin could comment right now, be like, "That's not what you said."
No, I didn't say that. I really wouldn't want him to be happy. I want him to be sad without me. But no, I'm just kidding. Kinda. I'm a little crazy. But yeah, so have a list and stick to it. Don't let the world tell you, oh, those are stupid. Oh,
unattainable. You can't find
Yeah.
a man like that.
will it take time? Yeah.
No, she didn't even consider not getting remarried, Hunter. You are absolutely correct.
I don't actually, in all seriousness, I don't know that I would ever get remarried.
Tune's changing.
It would be.
I ain't got time to figure out another woman. I ain't got this one all the way figured out yet. It's been 22 years.
Yeah.
I don't have enough life left.
I don't know if I would get remarried for the simple fact of I don't think I could ever love someone the way I love you. Like, I gave you every part of me. And I would never do that again.
Right.
Because that's hurt. That would be hurt.
So all y'all that's out there waiting on my demise, you don't stand a chance.
No. But write the goals down was the last thing I was going to say. Yeah. Write them on a piece of paper. Because what happens is if you don't write them down or type them in your notes in your phone, whatever, if you don't do that, then you'll be like, well, is that what I said? Maybe we could just, it'll be okay. Like, I'm not going to get into Bailey's list that she has. Some of her stuff is wild. But I mean,
her list.
It's her list. And every time I think about a list, I think of April. So when she was praying for a spouse, she prayed that they wouldn't snore. And Ben Allen does not snore.
Good thing you didn't have that on your list.
Yeah, good thing. He snores like a freight train. But yeah, like that was one of the things on her list. And so, and God sent her someone like that. So like even small things, I should have had a list. The thing is really the main things, like it would be the eating. You know how I feel about that. That would be like, number 3. Like, they would need God and be serving in their church, a good stable job, and then and a car, obviously. And then like they have to know how to use utensils well. And a napkin. Guys, that's my tips on dating. Let's see. Bailey said, my list is great. April. And he had to love to cook and absolutely no snoring. Yes, and Ben loves to cook. April does not cook. Does not cook. She said, you want to talk about my list?
Seriously.
I
know, seriously.
What? People don't know how to use knives sometimes.
That's an easy fix.
Okay, Bailey. So you'd be okay. She's picking on me right now. So Bailey, you would be okay with someone not knowing how to cut their steak. Oh no. I mean, it could be the fact that I grew up in a restaurant my whole life. So I had to watch a lot of bad situations, like grown people whose steak would come off their plate because they didn't know how to cut it. And I'd be like, what's wrong with these people? Like, my dad taught me how to cut a steak when I was like 6. That's weird. There's no reason why you should have that thing going everywhere. You shouldn't have au jus all over the table because you don't know how to cut your meat. That's wild to me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, Bailey, that's what I said. Using utensils should probably easily fix. Some things you can't fix. Can't fix stupid.
that's true. True. Anyway, guys, hope y'all enjoyed it. Bye.
Love y'all. See you next time.
Will we see them next week? Yes.
Yes.
We'll see y'all next week, but then we'll be gone for the next 2 weeks.
Yep. Y'all continue to pray for Jordan. He got his visa today and is crossing the border into Venezuela in the morning. So
yes,
be praying for him.
Keep him in your prayers. All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Love you. Bye.